Froch thinks we could be in for a classic on Saturday night as David Haye bids for revenge against Tony Bellew. Froch thinks we could be in for a classic on Saturday night as David Haye bids for revenge against Tony Bellew. Froch says David Haye and Tony Bellew are both in great shape ahead of Saturday night's eagerly awaited rematch at the O2. Bellew stopped an injured Haye in the 11th in the original showdown, but Froch thinks Saturday's winner may have to go the distance. The fighters shared the stage at the weigh-in on Friday and Haye tipped the scales at 15 St 10 pounds 2 ounces, having been 16 St 9 ounces for the first bout, and Bellew checked in at 15 St 4 ounces, around 3 pounds lighter than last time. Former super middleweight champion Froch told Sky Sports, "They both seem to be very fit. Tony Bellew and David Haye have both weighed in lighter than last time for their rematch, which will be exclusively live on Sky Sports Box Office. Tony Bellew and David Haye have both weighed in lighter than last time for their rematch, which will be exclusively live on Sky Sports Box Office. David Haye has had a great camp. I have just been with Team Haye, doing my preparation for commentary, and they are very confident with the weight training camp has gone. We have heard it all before, yes, but I have never seen him so fit and sharp. His reflexes are there. He has done a lot of sparring, which for me is good news for David Haye. His timing was out in the last fight, he was missing wildly. I think we are going to get a very good David Haye, which could spell problems for Tony Bellew if he thinks it is going to be easy." David Haye talks strict diets and making sacrifices as he enters Saturday's rematch with Tony Bellew in the best physical shape he's been in for years. David Haye talks strict diets and making sacrifices as he enters Saturday's rematch with Tony Bellew in the best physical shape he's been in for years. I think both fighters are going to be at their very best. They realize what is on the line. All we can hope is that David Haye's body can physically withstand the pressure of a 12-round fight, because, if it can, this is going to be a really tough night for both men. Former two-weight world champion Paulie Malignaggi says he is leaning towards picking Bellew to get the better of Haye for a second time. He said, "The more I get closer to it, the reason I pick Bellew is because I keep hearing Haye saying it could be his last fight. Take it from me, when you retire in your mind, before you get into the ring, you are not willing to suffer as much as you are supposed to, because you know there is nothing on the other side. If it goes to that place where you have to suffer, that is where it gets really iffy if you have retired in your mind." Tony Bellew believes age and physicality will be the deciding factor in his rematch with David Haye on Saturday. Tony Bellew believes age and physicality will be the deciding factor in his rematch with David Haye on Saturday. However, as if to emphasize the hard-to-predict nature of Saturday's fight, Froch thinks Haye might be inspired by the thought that it could be his last hurrah. Froch said, "I knew when I fought George Groves in that rematch, I knew that was going to be my last fight. I know what you are saying and there can be one eye on the armchair. But I knew I was retiring after that Groves fight, and that brought out the best in me." Watch Tony Bellew vs David Haye 2, live and exclusive from the O2, May 5th, on Sky Sports Box Office. Book via your Sky remote or on